Hello and welcome to The Spear. I'm Sandeep Chandak.
And I am Keanu Higigi. On today's show, we will look at the highlights from some of last weekend's games, including Spartan football's dominating effort against the Cal Poly Mustangs. The Spartans dropped their season opener to South Florida last week, and we're looking to bounce back against Cal Poly.
And what was a record hot day for SJSU football game, the team took the field fired up. Second quarter, Montel Aaron finds receiver Jaquan Blackwell for a 19-yard pickup. I swear he looks like Julio Jones. A couple plays later, the two freshmen connect again, this time for a touchdown as SJSU takes a 7-6 lead. Defense dictated this game, however, for the Spartans. The Mustangs racked up 220 rush yards, but SJSU forced 3 turnovers, including this fumble recovery by Owen Roberts to end a big drive. The Heat got the best of the athletes throughout the game. Many were forced to exit due to cramps. Aaron continued to shine as he threw his second touchdown of the game on a broken play to Trey Hartley, who goes up and makes an adjustment to grab the ball. The redshirt freshman quarterback finished the day with 3 touchdowns and 0 turnovers. Spartans earned their first win in the Brent Brennan era and will head to Austin next week to face the University of Texas.
Sandeep, I knew you were at that game. What did you see?
It was an up and down game. You know, beginning the Mustangs definitely were controlling it, but once Aaron took over as the quarterback, which I think next week he's earned that start with back-to-back consistent games. I think we're going to see a lot more fluidity in the offense. The running backs were doing really good, so I think they're starting to figure out the balance between the pass and the rush game, but it's going to be a tough battle next week.
Yeah, and I mean, they're going to have to bring their A game as they're going to face the University of Texas next week at Texas. So the men's water polo team dove into the first game of the season against the Santa Clara Broncos. Lindsey Boyd was there for the rivalry match.
For the third year in a row, the San Jose State men's water polo team started their season with a win against local rival Santa Clara University. Despite being down 3-6 in the first 2 periods, SJSU came out after halftime with 7 goals in a row to take the game 11-7. Head coach Bruce Watson was happy with his team for beating Santa Clara and for playing an earlier exhibition game against West Valley College.
The guys are competitive, very young, mostly freshmen and sophomores, and we have a lot to learn, but they fought back and handled the adversity of back-to-back games, so I'm excited.
The Broncos were able to capitalize on the Spartans' offensive turnovers early on and came out of the gate 3-0. The Spartans' defense was slow to close out on Santa Clara, and goalie TJ Palmer felt the team needed to warm up.
I think we came out of the first game, we were a little tired, we weren't really warmed up, and so when we came out, we weren't really ready to play.
After adjusting at halftime, SJSU found the Broncos' weakness on the outside and penetrated with 4 goals in a row during the third period.
Well, our coach pretty much told us we're not losing to Santa Clara. Like I said before, they're our rivals, and we haven't lost to them yet since becoming a new program.
The Spartans will dive back into the water against UC Davis next Saturday. With the Spear, Lindsey Boyd.
Women's soccer faced off against the number 10 ranked Georgetown Hoyas on Sunday afternoon. Keanu Higigi was there with more.
Triple-digit temperatures did not stop fans from coming out to the pitch to support the SJSU women's soccer team as they squared off against the number 10 team in the nation and defending Big East champs, the Georgetown Hoyas. From the opening whistle, the Hoyas dominated possession of the ball, which seemed to frustrate the Spartans. The Hoyas' stellar play on the defensive side of the ball also limited the Spartans to no shots on goal, resulting in a 2-0 deficit at half. In the second half, the Spartans got more aggressive on the attacking side of the field, where they were able to muster up 5 shots, 2 of them being on goal. However, the Hoyas were able to control the pressure while scoring one more time and ultimately giving them a 3-0 win on the road.
Boxing has been a part of San Jose State history since the 1950s. Ryan Barnhart visited the club to talk about their rich history.
So the history of boxing goes back to 1950s with Julius Menendez, who was the coach of San Jose State boxing when the boxing was still an NCAA sport. Ever since then, NCAA, I think it was around the 1970s, where they stopped supporting the sport of boxing as a collegiate sport. And in the year 2001, it was actually revived by 2 of our students at San Jose State. And ever since then, it's been under Coach Candy, one of the greatest coaches of all time, and we've been working with him ever since then. We've had multiple national champions at San Jose State. It's still going on every year. We have a lot of people going in competing at the regionals, nationals level, and we have real talented fighters. San Jose has always been known, even back during the NCAA days, for the good boxers that we had, and we still continue to produce great boxers out of this area.
What we want to employ is a method of step-by-step, from a fundamental stance to actually getting in there and sparring, and then eventually competition. So it's a step-by-step process, very extensive, very time-consuming, but everybody that puts the effort, me and my coaching staff here, we're here to help them, and we've been very successful.
Well, I mean, I always look at it this way. I mean, you could be at home from like 5 to 7 watching YouTube and probably not get anything done. Or you could just be here, getting in shape, learn a new skill, using your time productively. Something that you can never take away. It's kind of like education, it's always with you. The life experience of boxing, you can never take that away.
It's not often you hear a coach talk about how much more fun coaching is than playing. New Spartan linebackers coach Bojay Filamotu sits down with Kaveen Mystery to talk about his passion for coaching after playing for the Oakland Raiders.
We're good on the rotation. All right, we're going to go 3-man rotation like it's a real game. All right, let's do that. 3-man rotation, so it's U3, rolling the show. All right, until we get Ethan back, U3 rolling it. You got it?
It was a tricky thing. You know, I was just going through my daily routine after I just left playing NFL. I was happy working at 9 to 5. Coach Gary Anderson gave me a job basically over there as a grad assistant, and I took it. He told me get up there, and he always been a father figure to me at Oregon State. So I went up there with him. I met Coach Brennan. I met Coach Derek Odom and Coach Kevin Cummins, and I loved football, and it just the passion just came again. I fell in love with the game again, and I love coaching. I love seeing my players, especially the ones I work with, succeed, not just on the field, but off the field. So it's a great feeling. I love it here. I love the weather, of course. I just love this team and how we're building together a culture that each individual player can relate to. It's great being around those guys like Derek Carr, Khalil Mack, Charles Woodson was always an idol of mine, and Justin Tuck, and it was great being there with them. And learning from them helped me learn as a player, but actually as a coach, because they're coaches, on the field. They helped me a lot understand coverages, and everything there was just great. And I thank them for giving me the opportunity to play for them. And now I'm here because of all what I have done there, as also when I grow from coaching as well. I love it here. My wife loves it here. My dog, who I cherish like a son, he loves it here. The weather is great. You're around sunshine, could not get better. But just the atmosphere here, the coaching staff is like a family. And my wife feels it, I feel it, my dog feels it. It's just a great vibe. And it all starts with the head man. He does a great job of just expressing how much he cares about just the coaching staff and each and every one of our players.
That's all we have for today's show. Don't forget to follow us on social media at The Spear SJSU on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
Also, check out the 10th edition of The Spear magazine on our website, thespearsjsu.com, as well as our podcast. We will see you next week.